down in the fucking comment section. They went from 3 to 0 to -4. Shit. Sorry about that. I didn't press the live button. Sorry about that. I do apologize. I'm here now. I'm here. And I'm sad. I'm very sad. Shit. Okay. I've gone live on my own iPhone with the cracked screen. So we've got Streamception going on right now. Here's Johnny. Yes, yes. That's a reference to... Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, we've got the live chat. That means I don't have to look around and shit. I can see it on the monitor in front of me. How many people do we have here? I'm smiling. I'm well happy to see you. Right, we got 5 concurrent viewers. 7. Fuck. We got 7. Talk to me, people. I don't have any content for you today. This is where I lose 30 subscribers in one fell swoop because I have no plan at all. But this is just the story of my life. I don't like to plan anything, even if it fucks up. I like to fly by the seat of my fucking pants, as they say. I just like to ride the wave. I like to stay in touch with the present moment as much as possible and just get what's coming to me. I'm looking fucking massive. How am I this big? Hello. That's a weird name. Bakayoko. That's definitely an African name. Oh no, hang on. That's the fucking Chelsea. I've talked to you before. That's the Chelsea player. You've got to provide all the content. You are providing the content. I've got nothing upstairs today. I've been waking up at like 2 p.m. and I'm so disconnected with reality. It's fucking insane. I went for a walk and I went through the kind of red light district to do some shit. And all the shady people were there. And I was walking around all twitchy, really out of sync with everything that's going on. I'm even out of sync with the red light workers who stay up all night like me. So you've got to provide the content. There's nothing upstairs. Yo, James, what is happening, James? All right, since you're not asking me any questions, I'm going to have to provide some sort of content. So there's a website called News Now. It's a British news aggregator, and I sometimes go to this site to find content for the Johnny Massacre show. If you don't know it, it's called newsnow.co.uk. And it's actually fucking good for news. I don't really know any other website like this. It aggregates all the news from all the websites and newspapers all around the world. And you can just kind of pick what tickles your fancy. And yeah, it is a little bit lefty though, definitely. They have a featured section with the top headlines and somebody copyrights that. And it's usually anti-Trump or whatever, a little bit. But other than that, it's really good. So... Okay, shit, okay. So Uncompetitive says that we are all waiting to see what you're gonna do. I don't know, I don't have a fucking plan. So let's just check out the news. Let's see what's going on. So I'll open my screen. Let's see. Okay. So let's just go through the fucking news. And if you want to ask me any questions, please save me and then I can answer them for you. So what have we got going on here? Something about British politics. For some reason, I've got no interest in British politics whatsoever. It just doesn't interest me at all. Britain, my country, has fucking fallen. Britain used to be amazing. I used to love Britain. It was wicked. The rave scene was so good. Clubbing was so good. Sound systems are so fucking good. Oh my God. British people, I salute you for anything to do with sound. You've got it sorted. Historically, we haven't done fuck all with music until about the 60s when the Beatles came along. Then after that, we went fucking sick. I don't know what it is. I don't know what cultural shift there was that made English people make sick music. But when it came to electronic music in the 80s and especially 90s, we fucking smashed it. And 2000s as well, shit was fucking amazing. I used to love England. England was so fucking good. This was before all the woke shit. Seriously, nothing was woke. If you were woke, people would fucking laugh at you. You get laughed out of the bar. Fuck off, mate. What are you talking about? People were, I don't know, they manned up. They took criticism on the chin. Nothing would faze us. But then everything got woke. And I remember not too long ago, when I realised Britain had got super woke, was when the mayor of London, he banned bikini adverts on the subway, which we call the tube, because it's tube-shaped. He bans bikini adverts because they're offensive. So in England, everyone is fat. Everyone's mad fat. To all my fat friends watching, get on a treadmill. Come on. You've got to lose some weight. It's really important. No one wants to be fat, right? No one does it by choice. And I feel bad for fat people because they don't want to be fat, but I guess people eat to deal with stress, right? So joking aside, you know, I don't have any bad vibes against fat people. I think they should lose weight though, but I don't think fat people, because of their feelings, because they're not willing to lose the weight, should dictate normality for the rest of us. And so because fat people were offended when they saw bikini adverts on the subway in England, they were banned. And that is fucking ridiculous. So because someone is overweight, they want to normalize that and take away good-looking people. It doesn't make any sense. So when I saw that, I thought, what the fuck is going on in my country? After that, on the tube, it used to say something like, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the London Underground. Get on the fucking train, you cunts." But now they don't say that because ladies and gentlemen is not gender inclusive enough. So they changed the rules to suit fat people. And then they changed the rules to suit transgenders. So it's not to offend transgenders. Changing the rules for the majority, for the ladies and gentlemen, just for 0.1% of the population. So England went to shit. And I don't know why I'm talking about England, but yeah, it went to shit basically. Right, let's get to some questions. Right, let's see what's going on here. So we got someone said something about Fortnite, and I'm about to go off on fucking Fortnite if I find that question. Okay, so John Carlisle says, any gaming topics? So since you're subscribed, you're a paying subscriber, you get priority, John. Gaming topics. The PlayStation 5 came out in Britain, that country I was just hating on right now. My mate said it's sold out everywhere. You can't buy it anywhere. So PlayStation has smashed it. Gaming is a weird industry. It has exponential growth. It never ever dips. It's always expanding. And what with the coronavirus, it's expanding even more because people just want to stay at home and get plugged in. It's too late for me. It's too late for me. I can't turn back. I love games. I can play games all fucking day if I want. PlayStation's smashing it. I looked at some graphics comparisons. People talking about Assassin's Creed. I really hate that game, to be honest. But they were comparing it, and apparently there isn't much difference between the two. I'm still waiting to see which is more powerful, Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5. But you can't get it in Japan either. But I'm still kind of chilling and waiting because there's no games out for it that I want to play. Jordan Durham says, what kind of bars you frequent? So I'll go for a real mix. I'll go for something really, really terrible, and those are so easy to find anywhere, especially in Tokyo, because out here people don't have very good taste in music. So most of the bars will play the cheesiest shit ever, basically chart music and electronic chart music or whatever. So I'll go there because that's where hot chicks go. So I have to get intoxicated in order to enjoy that music, in order to bump into some hot chicks. But generally, I'm not into that vibe, so I'll try to go somewhere with good music, of which there aren't many in Tokyo. So I'll probably go to some weird whiskey bar that's owned by some old dude with autism for music or vinyl. So there's various bars where the owner has tens of thousands of vinyl records all over the walls, and you can kind of go there in some really cool Japanese vibe and listen to some cool shit, drink some whiskey and stuff like that. Right, if you're just joining us, this is the Massacre moment. We are live. You can ask me anything you like. Right, next question. Okay, Bakayoko says, what is your thoughts on Fortnite? Okay, Fortnite. I fucking hate Fortnite. I hate that shit so much. Fortnite is possibly the death of gaming. So I'm not one to be stuck in my era or anything. I'm all up for new shit and new tech and I don't swim against the tide, so to speak. But Fortnite has been so fucking successful and has made so much money. It has irreversibly changed the gaming industry. So now all games copy the Fortnite format, which is games as a service, basically. It's loads of cosmetic items that you have to kind of pay for to distinguish your online identity from other people. So Fortnite are fucking geniuses. Actually, they kind of stole the concept from PUBG and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which is pretty much the same game, but not so fucking shite looking. And then I think there was a game before that, but Fortnite kind of stole that concept and then they ran with it and they smashed it. So they obviously make more money just from selling ridiculous cosmetic things like colorful hats and weapon skins than other game developers would make from the game sales themselves. So other developers looked at that and said, shit, what are we doing? We're making game after game after game when fuck all that. All we have to do is make one single game and we can just update it a little bit forever. We don't even have to bother to make other games because people lap it up. They don't demand anything different. And that's what Fortnite created. So now you're seeing games come out like franchises where there's just not going to be any sequels. And to me, that is shit because a sequel is wicked, right? A sequel, the developer has to really try to reinvent the game and make something fresh and original. And it comes out, bam, years of work in your face. It's yours to own, yours to play. If it's good, fucking awesome. But now it's kind of the same thing and they just add little bits. And they basically, Fortnite, the developers worked out, people don't really want to be treated so much by games. They're actually satisfied with very little and just a few fucking stupid hats. And the worst part about it is the addictive element. So we are in the addiction age. We are in the addiction age right now. We used to talk about things like fucking heroin and crack cocaine, but now we don't even really talk about this. The real addiction is the digital addiction. The people who made your fucking phone and the apps on your phone, it's designed by experts of psychology to make it as addictive as possible. And that little rush of endorphins, those happy chemicals you get when you see some message on your phone and you're fucking scrolling down Insta like a slot machine, you get that from these games now. They've worked out how to give you that chemical rush. And that's what Fortnite has created. And I'll be damned. I'm addicted, man. I play Rainbow Six and it's the same shit. When you win, you get this little roulette wheel and the anticipation is building. What fucking shitty hat am I going to get today? And I want the shitty hat. I want the shitty weapon skin. Why? It's just the kind of pinging of happy chemicals in the brain, and they've worked it out. So thanks a lot, Fortnite. Also, Fortnite is so sterile, so garish, so mainstream, so bubblegum pop. It's everything that I do not represent. I represent the real, raw, underground truth. That game is just is bubblegum pop bullshit. I cannot stand it. And the graphics aren't even that good, right? Because it's almost like cell shaded. So it's brought the standard of graphics down. Why put all your budget into making sick graphics when you can make something like Fortnite that people love just as much? So it's brought the standards down all the way across the industry. One thing I will say is, I can't lie, playing Rainbow Six games as a service, it's fucking fun. So if you've got one game forever and you enjoy it, what's the problem? The thing is though, I want innovation and I want new titles. So I just hope that people don't get sick of this soon so we get more original content. That's my main concern, is lack of original content. So that's a good question about Fortnite. Thank God someone asked me a question because I've got nothing to say today. Lost for words, so you can see I'm very passionate about games and that's how I feel about Fortnite. Thank you for your question. Right, what else have we got going on here? Okay, so James says, how was the production process for Maniacity? So that's my first album. Okay, so that album, fucking hell. So that album was made in my mum's dining room. So that's when I lived in London. And my mum has a semi-detached house. I said semi for all my American viewers. Semi-detached house, and on that side of the house there's a dining room, and I used to be able to play the music so fucking loud. My neighbors were well safe. They never complain. In Japan, they'll fucking complain. But that's a good thing about British people. They're kind of cool with a bit of noise, right? You making some noise, fuck it, I'll make some noise too. Let's make some fucking noise. I like that vibe. And so I could play my music as loud as I wanted. And so, yeah, my mate, the station was like 2 or 3 minutes away. My mates used to roll up on the train, the Iron Horse, and they say, Johnny, I can fucking hear you as the train door was opening. So I made it in there. I had a kind of an analog studio, none of this shit. There's actually something up there you can't see that was really instrumental in the making of the album, but the process was in that dining room, and I had ultrasound. I knew ultrasound was good, and I had another track which didn't come on the album that was awesome, but the mix was fucked up and I lost the parts. And I had to build an album around ultrasound because I knew ultrasound was good. And that was extremely fucking hard. Oh my goodness, man. You know, it was just slaving. It was an agonizing process, slaving away day after day. I remember making ultrasound, and it was the most horrible process ever. I have a version of that which no one has heard with different lyrics. And it was kind of sleazy and sexy, but it wasn't really working. And I couldn't get the lyrics right for ultrasound. And I remember with ultrasound, I said, I was just staying up for days on end without sleeping, trying to finish that song. And it got to the point where nothing was coming out, and I'd heard it so many times, I'd lost the buzz and lost the inspiration. So it was really hard to write lyrics. And I said to myself, whatever I do next is going to be the final lyrics, whatever it fucking is. And I remember I was so out of ideas, I just started going A, B, C, D. I started going through the alphabet. That's how lost I was. But then I kind of realized, hang on a minute, B is for brain, and it kind of went from there. So the process was just insane grinds, just repeating it over and over again. And it was so frustrating. All of that came out on the album. It's just full of anxiety and full of misery because it was just a miserable process making it. Locked myself away, didn't really see anyone. And yeah, that was the process for making that album. Fuck me. Hence it's called Maniacity. Right, the questions are coming thick and fast. I fucking love you. I fucking love you because without your questions, we would have nothing. Right. Next question. Oh, fuck. We're going to get political. I can see political shit. If you want to get me talking, say something about Trump and I'll talk. One thing I just want to say about politics is that one of the reasons why I was never on the left, but I realized I was a leftist. And that's the most terrifying thing of all. I was a leftist and I said all the classic liberal leftist talking points without even knowing about politics, without even knowing what politics was. And that shows you the level of indoctrination that's out there in London, which is a kind of liberal city. It's just ingrained into you through education, school, university, online, television, all that kind of shit. And the reason I left that side, I left the left, was basically because the left is so aggressive, man. I never, ever, ever meet someone who's on the right where when they encounter someone with a different political opinion, they'll attack them. Oh, what the fuck? How could you possibly believe that? How could you vote for Biden? He's a Marxist socialist. He's gonna instill communism. He's in bed with AOC and the squad. They never ever do that. But people on the left, all they have to do is hear that you're even a little bit fond of Trump, and they'll go fucking mad. They'll have a meltdown. They're over emotional. It's not based on facts. It's all based on feelings. It's all based on emotions, and it's like it's too fucking much. So I was thinking about that recently. That's why I lean more right these days, because I'm not an emotional character like that. I'm not going to get upset because of what you believe in. I honestly couldn't care. So that was something I was thinking about recently. But not only that, not only do people on the left, I often meet, not all of them at all, there's a lot who aren't. If you go by what's on Twitter, you think everyone on the left is insane. But they are not. They are not. My best friend is a I wouldn't say a hardcore leftist, but he is straight up left. He said things like, Biden's a real man, like a real politician. Things like that. I love him. He's my best mate. And you know what? I don't talk about politics around him because what difference is it going to make? I'm not going to try to change his mind. But with that said, I find that a lot of people on the left, not only will they get emotional about your opinion, but they'll try to forcefully change your opinion. It's kind of like the whole desire of the antagonist in George Orwell's 1984. They don't just want to stop you from doing something. They want to change the way you think. And I've lost count of the amount of times I've spoken to a liberal. They know that I'm not a liberal, and they immediately make it their mission to kind of deprogram me and change my mind. Like they want to throw me into some re-education camp. It's so disrespectful. It strips everyone of their individual agency, lumps them into a group. You think like that. Oh, you shouldn't think like that. Oh, you know, that's really, really bad. They genuinely think that everyone on the other side is wrong. Anyways, ranting about politics. We will get there. So let's keep going. John Carlisle says bass. Yes, that word makes me hype. I fucking love bass. Okay, so Uncompetitive says, Uncompetitive, you know your name is spelled wrong. That really fucks with my OCD. I really wish you changed the A to an E. Be yourself, though. I'm not going to deprogram you. Uncompetitive says, I got into an argument with a leftist last night that discredited my news sources. Fine. And I said, who did he think was credible? And he said Reuters. Yeah, Reuters always post anti-Trump stuff. So many news organizations and outlets have fallen to the left. It's social justice is like a metastasizing cancer. It just infects and ruins everything. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Leftism has taken over. Even the BBC, for example. See, your mate saying Reuters is credible. I used to think that. I used to think the BBC was credible. But in the last couple of years, since Trump came in, started draining the swamp and kind of rattling on the bars of the cage of the deep state, suddenly the political pressure got ramped up to 110, and everything everywhere seems to be leftist. Music, movies, sport, games, wherever you look, it's infecting everything. And that ain't good. We need a system of checks and balances. We need a better balance. Uncompetitive says, within 10 seconds, I found a Reuters headline referring to Joe Biden as president-elect. This is a lie. There you go. Bakayoko says, up the England. Fucking England, mate. I did talk a bit of trash on England, but it made me who I am. So England, fucking love you. Today, I sent a message. Man, there's this really fucking hot girl. There's this really, really hot girl. I hope she's not fucking watching, because she has watched it a few times, but she probably have fallen asleep by now. No, I can't say that. I can't tell you about this hot girl. Sorry. I digress. Nicholas Gustafsson. Hello. Long-time viewer. Good to see you, mate. Says, do you think a new underground scene will come out of the COVID lockdown? Now, this is a fucking good question, Nicholas. Seems like now is the time to start illegal raves, etc. Right, so I was thinking about this today. Mate, we're on the same page. So I was thinking about this today. Now, going back to what I said about how in the 90s, coming out the 80s, into the 90s, into the noughties, the British music scene, the underground scene was fucking insane. It is the golden era for electronic music. It took America a long time to cotton onto that, and when they did, they commercialized it and turned it into the unspeakable horror known as EDM. But anyways, that music scene came out of an illegal rave scene. So people didn't have anywhere to go. People thought, fuck the system. It wasn't like I pledged my allegiance to Black Lives Matter or something like a cult. It was fuck all of that shit. This was real. This was the good kind of anarchy, if there is such a thing. And out of that came raves and shit. And from the raves came the clubs when they tried to monetize it after the clubs got shut down. And for about a decade, from the, I don't know, like early 90s to, well, more than a decade, to mid-noughties, you had the sickest electronic music scene. That came out of illegal raves. And so to answer your question, with a lockdown, will a new underground scene come out of that? No, it won't, because underground is dead. Underground will never exist again, because without a smartphone, without surveillance of your camera and being able to upload media to Instagram and social media, Without that, you can have an underground and you can have a monoculture where people physically, literally have to go there to experience something. And that monoculture can have its own idiosyncratic quirks and kind of fashion and culture. But the fact that anyone can just video something on a phone and then it becomes mainstream, there is no such thing as underground culture anymore. I think the most underground it can be, is some illegal rave in a forest or in a field somewhere. And I guess that is kind of underground, but it's not going to blossom into anything because it will already be on Instagram before it has a chance to kind of develop. So I think that is dead forever, and the future is basically streaming and just all being connected and things like that, which is so fucking different. I wish there would be an underground, but I don't think there will be. Uncompetitive says, I got the PS5. How is it? Tell everyone watching what you're doing with your PS5. Is it any good? What games have you gotten? And give us an update. Did you get Demon Souls? Because that was the one game I was looking at that I thought looked pretty decent. John Carlisle says, you a PC gamer, Mr. Massacre? Oh, very respectful, calling me Mr. John. Well, Mr. Carlisle, I'm not a PC gamer. I've never been one. I've always used Macs. My family had Macs since I was little. My brother, who animated ultrasound, he's a Mac fucking fanatic. You've never met someone who likes Macs as much as my brother. When a new iPad will come out, he'll buy two, give one to his wife. He has the Power Mac. He's got the MacBook Pro. He's got fucking everything. He is the biggest Mac fan ever. So that he's a year and a half older than me. So he basically always was behind the kind of computer purchase in my family. And so I've been Macs my whole life. PCs they've always been so alien to me, but I know they're sick for gaming. So I should probably join the PC master race at some point. I've seen what the new gaming PCs are like, where they trick it out like cars and shit, and they put neon all over it. I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool. Should I be part of the PC master race? Uncompetitive says, the PS5's DualSense gamepad is a revelation that enhances the immersion of its games. Any potential performance advantage of the Xbox Series X is undermined by its lack of exclusive games. Well, Xbox Series X, they did buy, I can't remember the name, but they bought, is it BioWare or something? They bought the developer who made Skyrim and shit like that. So, but yeah, I'm still waiting to see which one's the most powerful, as I said. Dretchim says, is Patreon still a thing, or did everything switch to YouTube members stuff? To be honest, I don't really know about all this gig market kind of monetizing shit. I should get on it more, but I don't care about money. That's just who I am. I could fucking really get behind my Patreon and lock off content, but all I want to do is just have a chat with you, and that's it. And then if this becomes popular and then it's overwhelmingly clear and obvious how to monetize, then I'll do it, but I'm not up on all that. Patreon is the thing. I have a Patreon. Most people subscribe to that for a few months and then they tend to drop off. I've got 2 subscribers there. You're welcome to check it out, patreon.com/Johnny Massacre. But I think Patreon might be a bit woke, so one day I might be cancelled from there for wrongthink, for not following the narrative. So I'm not really up on it. YouTube seems to be the smoothest way. Just you can donate, and then I don't even know how it fucking works. There's special emojis and super chat and all that shit, but hey, I don't really know how it works, but one day I'm sure I'll get on it. A lot of people monetize with merch, right? Does anyone out there watch Jericho Green? If you don't, make sure you check out Jericho Green's channel. Jericho Green is a hard conservative. I don't like the term hard, right? Because to people on the left and the mainstream media, anyone a millimeter right of centre is hard right. I've lost count of the amount of times I've spoken to liberals and I've mentioned anyone who's conservative at any point on the spectrum, and they all say the same thing. Oh, he's a hard right. He's a hard right fellow. No, he's not hard right. Someone called Candace Owens a hard right. Candace Owens is maybe quasi-radical, but I wouldn't call her a hard right. She's not calling to fucking kick people out of America or anything. But anyways, I lost my train of thought. See, when politics comes up, I start ranting. That's why I make this show, to get it all out. Where was I? Why am I talking about people on the political spectrum after talking about monetization. Oh, I know why. Because people get banned from those monetization sites for their political views. James says, I'm with you on the Fortnite topic. Good. Yeah, Fortnite. No. Moon. Always good to see Moon with a Luigi avatar. Says, good morning from New York. Good morning. How are you doing out there? How does it feel to be... Are you a Trump fan? If so, how does it feel to be a Trump fan in New York? How does that work? Do you walk around with your MAGA hat? How's your day going, Johnny? It's so nice to see you live again. God, Moon is so polite. Well, I'll answer your question. How's my day going? Well, I did 2 hours of scratch practice, and I'm learning the 2-click flare, which is... It's the hardest fucking scratch ever, but it's the gateway to all the advanced scratches. And I'm really close to getting it. And there's so many different ways to do it. One's with the wrist, where you're kind of flicking the wrist. And the difficult one's the pinching technique, where you're pinching the fader. Try and do this for 10 seconds. Just do this. And your hand is going to feel like it's fucking being torched with raging poisonous fire. It looks very innocuous, doesn't it, doing that? It doesn't look like much, but actually that's pretty much as difficult as lifting a bench press for me. And you have to be able to do that so fucking fast, but your hand gets tired after 10 seconds. So I got this fucking tool to help me improve my grip. And I fucking should improve that as well. But I'm trying to do that for the scratching. So that's what I've done today. I've been practicing the 2-click flare. I did some music theory. Music theory is pissing me off right now. It's some days you just don't want to do it, but you got to do it like you love it. So I tried to do it for 2 hours, only managed an hour and a half. I'm learning the harmonic minor chords right now, trying to get that down to muscle memory. Takes fucking forever. So I've done that, and the day's going all right, but I feel really out of it because I haven't seen sunlight for about 3 or 4 days. So I'm morphing into a werewolf. Moon says, what's your favorite place to buy ramen in Japan? Okay, ramen question. People talk about ramen all the time, Japanese and, well, whoever you are. That's one of the things I like about Japan is Japanese people kind of recognize how awesome their country is. In England, it's been fashionable since I was a kid to hate your country. People who love England, they're fucking racist, nationalist, white supremacist, whatever. That's just the thing. If you like your country in England, you're basically a racist, which is, I worked it out, obviously, these days with the whole Trump thing. You can kind of see how politics operates. But if you're anywhere right of center, you're the enemy. You have to be destroyed by leftists. And so people on the right generally like their country, and so they need to all be painted as knuckle-dragging Neanderthals. So unlike England, in Japan, people actually kind of like their country. And so they like ramen. Japanese people love ramen. So that's kind of interesting. And favorite place to buy ramen, I try to avoid carbs as much as possible. Let me fucking show you why. Got this fucking beast, mate. Look at this fucking bad boy. Shit. Look at this fucking... Look at this motherfucker over here. What have you got to say for yourself, you sexy bastard? Look at that. Look at that fat. Fucking torch that shit, mate. So I try to avoid the carbs and I try to eat shit like that. So I don't eat a lot of ramen. But ramen shop, well, I like the Beatles. So anyone who doesn't like the Beatles, right? Seriously, listen to what I'm fucking saying. I like the most technical kind of head screw face music you can possibly unearth out of the dirt. I like underground stuff made by people with borderline autism who sit in dark rooms, topping up their studio tan, tweaking dials for years on end, trying to squeeze out the most vicious, nasty, beastly sound to crush your ribcage on the dance floor. With that said, Beatles are the heaviest, nastiest music entity ever to come out of the ether. The Beatles is so heavy. It's so fucking heavy. If you listen to the way the drums sound, the mixing, the mastering, the musicality, the music theory, the innovation, the drug influence, the fashion, everything that comes out of it. They're the sickest. And there's a ramen restaurant. I went there in Shibuya. I went there when I was drunk, after a night out, playing the Beatles, and I thought, oh my fucking God, ramen joint, really tasty, playing the Beatles. This is the coolest joint ever. But then I worked out, every single ramen joint in Japan is subscribed to this weird radio station that's obviously the radio station is in bed with the government, giving them kickbacks. And so for some reason, that has become established in every single ramen joint over Japan. So they have to play the Beatles. So what I originally thought was the coolest ramen shop ever that I like to go to actually wasn't that cool, because they didn't want to play that music there anyways. That might not seem like a big thing to you, but the music choice tells you so much about the spirit, soul, personality of a person. And when I was sitting there eating my ramen, I thought, man, this ramen tastes good. And it makes sense they're playing the Beatles because they've got good taste. But actually I was wrong. So fuck that place. Best ramen place? I don't know. This hot chick that I'm trying to date, she likes ramen. So I'm going to ask her and get back to you. But really, it's all about tsukemen. Tsukemen, have you heard of tsukemen? Tsukemen is udon noodles, the fat noodles. That comes on its own. And then in a separate bowl, you've got broth, but it's really thick, it's really heavy. You take out the udon noodles, you dip it into this thick, tarry sauce, and you slurp it up. That shit is next level. When you're finished, you ask for the yu. Yu means water in Japanese, and you get the water that the noodles were cooked in, and you pour it into the little side bowl full of thick, tarry broth, and it makes a soup. And all the kind of little bits of noodle that broke off in there kind of get mixed in. That's what I fucking like. There's a store, I think it's called Seimen, S-I-E-M-E-N. Could be Mitsuya Seimen, something like that. Sounds rather sketchy, but it tastes fucking delicious. And it's quite mainstream. It's a chain, but chains can taste really good in Japan. So tsukemen is where it's at, not ramen for me. Ramen is good, but once I had tsukemen, nah, ramen doesn't even come close. That might be the next thing to come to the West, but I can't imagine tsukemen would take off because it just looks weird. It looks weird to a foreigner. Should we look up tsukemen? Tsukemen. Let's have a look. Show you what I mean. Right, let me turn off my calendar. Right, this is tsukemen. Okay, right, so look, you get this bowl next to the broth, and you pick it up and you dip it in there. But yeah, this is the shit. Oh, look at it, really thick noodles, and this is super thick sauce. Just thick in general. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Tsukemen is the shit. And I think the store is called Mitsuya Seimen. It is. It's okay. So this is what you want to look up. Mitsuyado. Mitsuyado Seimen. All right, check this out. That's the name. I think it's this one. I'm pretty sure it is. So you can put the meat and the egg into this broth, and then you pick that up, you dip it in, and you slurp it. It doesn't look that appetizing though. It looks a bit sketchy, right? And that's why I don't think it will blow up in the West. But I'm telling you, if you want a carb explosion in your mouth, that is where it's at. Mitsuyado Seimen. Okay, thanks for your question about ramen. So what's next? Moon says, I recently got into eating shrimp dumpling ramen and it's pretty good. Shrimp dumpling ramen? I don't think that's a real thing in Japan. That's the thing. In the West, they'll add all these other Asian fusion things in. If you show it to a Japanese person, they'll probably laugh at you. They delight in seeing the Western bastardization of their culinary history. Uncompetitive says, okay, he's sticking up for Fortnite. Let's hear what he's got to say. Look, Fortnite is made to appeal to kids. It isn't for us. And I guess that is true. I guess that's true. The thing I don't like about it is a kid's game influencing adult games. And I feel there's a little bit of bleed into it. But hey, Look, they can do their thing. It's a free market. If they make a wicked product and it dominates the market, that's a necessary byproduct to having a free market in general. All right, let's keep going. Okay. Bakayoko says, well said, Johnny. Thank you. James, oh snap. Hululu, help us over here in the US, Johnny. Lol. What do you mean? You need saving from what? See, I always want to save people. I'm one of those, I try not to be, but I'm one of these people that always wants to help people. And yeah, I choose not to be that person anymore. But if you really need my help, just tell me what you want, mate. John Carlisle says, Massacre is the next music revolution. I will finish my new album and it's going to be a banger. I've got a lot more to say about that if you want to know, if you have any questions. James says, it really worked out. I still jam out to it. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I listened to it recently. It's better than I thought it was. My second album, No More Sun, is garbage though. But there are a few good tracks on there. There's a few good ones, but generally it's a mess. If you want to know about the process of that, I can tell you also. Moon says, are you selling physical copies of your music? Yes. If you go to my Bandcamp, the Johnny Massacre Bandcamp, I have a CD of it and you can buy it there. Uncompetitive says, I found an old Roseanne chat show interview on YouTube with Donald Trump and Michael Moore. He came off really well, wasn't motivated by money, and shook Michael's hand even though he is a germaphobe. Well, this is the thing. Before Donald Trump got into power and started pissing off the deep state, who's obviously in bed with leftists and Hillary Clinton, everyone kind of loved Donald Trump. Black people generally loved him. He was an icon in black hip hop. Countless rappers like Snoop Dogg and whoever mentioned Donald Trump, like, yeah, making cash like Donald Trump. They fucking loved him. And then the thing which really I'm so glad Donald Trump became president because it exposed how insane people are. Then all those rappers instantly switched. Snoop Dogg killed some effigy of Bernard Trump. Bernard? Who's that? His alter ego. Is that who my anonymous source is going to be? Bernard Trump. That's what I'm going to call him. Bernard. If you watched last episode, you will understand what I'm on about. Anyways, Snoop Dogg mock executed an effigy of Donald Trump with a gun. And it's only because the media told Snoop Dogg that he's not allowed to like Donald Trump because he's black, which is literally what Biden says and what the media have been saying since forever, and especially since Donald Trump got into power. And I thought, wow, all these rappers who kind of claim to be the American dream, I don't fucking listen to anyone, I'm so tough, you fucking disagree with me, I'll blow you away. As soon as Donald Trump got into power, they just towed the political line and turned on him just to satisfy all the pressure coming from the political left. I thought, wow, all these rappers I respected, they're actually just human beings. They make bad choices just like you and I. So the whole Donald Trump is Hitler thing, I don't understand it. Again, so many leftists I speak to, they're the biggest hypocrites ever. How many times have I heard leftists say, Donald Trump is divisive. Donald Trump divides the country. Donald Trump has split us apart. Donald Trump is racist. Donald Trump is prejudiced, all this kind of stuff. Then, in the same breath, they say, fuck Donald Trump. I hate Donald Trump. And you know what? Every time I ask them why. Why do you hate Donald Trump? And they just say, I just do. Fuck him. I hate him. So you are actually just as prejudiced as you are claiming Donald Trump to be. Are you projecting? The hypocrisy is fucking astounding. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. It's all based on feelings. Like, what has he actually done that is so bad? What has he done to hurt democracy? The outsider got voted in. That proves democracy is alive and well. And the fact that with all the shit going on now, it looks like democracy might really be under threat if fraud is a thing. But are we really going to get onto fraud? Because I'm not seeing a lot of evidence. That disappoints me. I heard they're going to release the Kraken. The Trump administration said they're going to release the Kraken, talking about fraud and revealing all the fraud. There was no Kraken to be released. And it's starting to look embarrassing because whether the fraud is real or not, you need some fucking evidence. And I'm waiting for it and I'm not seeing it. John Carlisle, big spender, has donated 50,000 something or others, which I think is about $50. Thank you so fucking much. I really appreciate it. Make a request and I will do my best to satisfy you, John. Thank you very fucking much. Got me smiling again. Thank you. Let's keep going over the questions. So, Trump hasn't changed at all. The world has changed. Uncompetitive says, I like that. That's deep. I want to pin that comment. Uncompetitive says, I wasn't trying to win a spelling bee because I'm uncompetitive. All right, fair enough, mate. You do you. James says, I hope so. Halulu says, Johnny, what do you think of K-pop music? The birds are really fit. I think it's poor, it's cheesy. My sense of quality for music is so fucking overdeveloped that the only stuff that really will get my endorphins flowing is stuff that is genuinely fucking sick. And K-pop is not that. But I will say, if you're going to make mainstream stuff, it's probably the best form of it. They've got a bit of edge. You know, they've got a bit of edge to it in a way that, of course, hip-hop doesn't have. Hip-hop is overtly edgy. Sometimes it's almost a parody of itself. But K-pop seems to have just about the right amount of edge and attitude. And that's a cultural thing. I met Korean people living in Japan because it's quite close. And they have a much more of an edge. Japanese people have very little edge. Some of them do, but they're quite rare. Koreans are much edgier. And that comes across in K-pop. So it's interesting because it's the first viral music, is it not? It's the first music that really kind of had a viral quality to it. So it does have that accolade. I've never been to Korea for some reason. Bakayoko says, do you watch much football? I used to watch it all the time. I'm an Arsenal fan, and Arsenal have been shit for so fucking long. I said to my best mate recently, you know what? I don't fucking support Arsenal anymore. And I say this every year, but I said this time really, and I bought some new players. We're still not very good. Our management's fucking ridiculous. If you want to get me talking about football and talk about Arsenal, you will see a raw, passionate side of me only rivaled by music. But music is probably more of a source of passion for me. Well, it definitely is. And then after I got into politics and I realized how stupid it is being tribal for tribalism's sake, it made me like football less. But maybe I think football satisfies that tribal desire all humans have in a kind of safe, controlled way. Uncompetitive, who's talking a lot today, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, says, Microsoft has said that they won't be taking Bethesda's games away from other consoles. Isn't that some weird conflict of interest? That's weird. Rumper says, Johnny Massacre, OnlyFans. What about OnlyFans? OnlyFans, I've been reading about that shit. So I met a girl on a dating site and she looked like a complete whore. And she was actually part of OnlyFans and she wanted to go on a date with me. And then she changed her mind suddenly. It just happens. And that's when I worked out what OnlyFans was. So I went on it and I thought, okay, but hang on, this is probably just her trying to get me on OnlyFans. And actually it might well have been. That's why she never ended up going on the date. That could have been her ploy. But it actually seemed a little bit genuine because she had some music production pictures in her portfolio. And I thought, hey, baby, I can make you famous, don't you know, for a night. And so that's how I found out about that service, OnlyFans. And then a friend of mine who's really fucking hot, she told me recently that OnlyFans manager, who's British, what other nationality could it be? We are fucking perverted as fuck. Contacted her and asked her to be on OnlyFans. So then I researched it more. Means Googling it. I should have DuckDuckGo'd it. And it turns out OnlyFans also has artists and chefs and non-pornographic things. But then I stumbled across something on YouTube, Charisma on Command. This guy talks about how not to be a loser. And he subscribed to OnlyFans and he tried to understand the psychology of it. And it goes back to what I was talking about, the addiction age, where digital companies and big tech have worked out a model to make you addicted and give you the endorphin rush. And apparently that's what OnlyFans does. Why do people use it when there's pornography? He's saying that pornography has no build-up, right? No mystery. Any mystery is instantly dissolved as soon as you click on the video and start fapping. But OnlyFans, there's all this stuff that's blocked out, so there's anticipation. What could be behind that thing? It's like in the video game when in Fortnite or Rainbow Six, the thing is spinning and you get the graphics and you're waiting for it. There's anticipation, and that's part of sex, right? So OnlyFans looks like it's a genius fucking piece of advertising. It's taking something that's not very good or that's common and making it and selling it. And not only that, but giving you less and you pay more for less. It's so fucking clever what they're doing. Why did you bring that up, Rumper? Uncompetitive says, I have a Mac Pro with 192 gigabytes of RAM and recently Windows 10 on it through Boot Camp. So I could play Microsoft Flight Simulator at 6K. That's some nerdy shit, bro. But I'm with you on that. Wait a minute. 192 gigabytes of RAM. Solid state. How much did that fucking cost? Because my brother being the Mac master, I asked him a lot about Macs. That's the only way I can talk to my brother. The carrot on the stick is Mac. It's a fucking Mac-shaped carrot. An apple-shaped carrot. And my brother said that you don't need this much RAM and you don't need this many cores. It kind of confuses me a bit, but how much did that cost? And what the fuck is your job if you have that? John Collar, just seen your donation again. He says, screw monetization. That's how you fucking do a donation. Boom! Mac TX. Now this guy, I love to pin his comments on my political rants because we're on the same page. He sometimes writes an essay in the comments and I love it. And I learn a lot from him. So he says, I think it's more than just England. That's probably true for most Western countries. So the West has fallen or is falling. We got to bring it back. Steven Suarez, my good buddy. We're Instagram buddies. We chat a bit on Instagram. He says, I woke up and put on your show while getting dressed, buying cigarettes and coming to work. He's very fancy, this guy. He's very fancy. Mr. Suarez, pleasure to have you back. I do like your avatar. I like the background, the purple background. James says, now that's some meat. So that's the steak, I assume, that he's talking about. Halulu says, lol. James says, lol. Mac TX says, almost like it's a coordinated effort to undo patriotism and promote globalism. The Great Reset. Globalism, whether you believe in all this shit or not, you cannot deny globalism is fucking everywhere. Even the BBC, supposed to be impartial, has fallen to globalism and wokeness. It's fucking everywhere. I say, fuck globalism. Be proud of your country. Be magnanimous. Help people where you can, but don't fucking carry someone on your back. And look after yourself first, then you can help other people. Moon, I'm doing well, Johnny. Don't have a Trump hat, so I may buy the shirt equivalent of that instead, but wearing it in public might get me killed. What? By the tolerant left? Biden said, but hang on a minute. Biden said, now is a time of healing. We're all going to come together. Get you killed? That's not what Biden said. New Yorkers aren't too kind on Trump supporters. Yeah, so I heard. Probably slightly kinder than Californians, though. Am I right? Moon says, also my icon is supposed to be Luigi playing the Nintendo Switch. Good to know. Steven Suarez got censored, but I will show you a message. Do Brits say cunt nonchalantly like the Aussies? Yes, we do, you stupid cunt. Do love you. Yeah, when I used to play Pro Evolution Soccer with my mates, anytime you score a goal, your mate is guaranteed to say, you can't. Americans get really upset over that word. Americans who are supposed to be champions of free speech get really, really upset when you call them a cunt. I mean, I've got into fights with Americans calling them cunts. Why do you take it so seriously? Jaden Thomas, hello, mate. Good to have you. Damn, just got here. How much longer are you going to stream? Not much longer. I'm supposed to stop now, but let's keep going, shall we? Because I get such a buzz from talking to you lot. Andrew Weissbein. Ah, dein Name ist der Weissbein, ja? Das schmeckt gut. That means white bone in German. People will say Weissbein. Don't you get tired of people calling you Weissbein? Andrew Weissbein says, sup, Johnny. Sup. Jaden Thomas says, no more sun for the win. The only song I didn't like was Home Wrecked. Thank you. That album is a mess because I made it on Yamaha NS10 speakers and the bass is fucking stupid. I should remaster it. $90. Fuck. John Carlisle donated $90 to me. This guy is out of his fucking mind. Out of his mind. What is your request? What can I give you for that $90? Not that. Jordan Durham says, the director for Home Alone said that the reason he kept the Trump scene in the movie was because people stood up and cheered when he was on screen. Well, this is the thing. The mainstream media, egged on and in cahoots with the deep state, simply just went to town on Trump because he tried to drain the swamp and he tried to call it like it was. And that relentless media campaign, quite simply, brainwashed hundreds of millions of people all over the world. That narrative coming out of America, propped up by the people of America, a lot of them, filtered through overseas. People in Japan come up to me and say, Donald Trump, he's racist. He hates black people, right? No. There's no evidence of that at all. He's never said anything to that effect. If anything, Joe Biden said more. And so it's quite simply the media just ramming it home that Donald Trump must be removed. That shows you how sketchy the deep state is and how corrupt Hillary and the Dems really are to create such falsehood so aggressively, so relentlessly, so viciously on all fucking levels. Entertainment, news, politics, everything. It just goes to show you how sketchy they are. You know, he kind of tried to expose them, and that's what happened in return. And before, everyone loved him. People stood up and cheered. So what I'm trying to say is the same thing Alexander Solzhenitsyn says in the Gulag Archipelago, which is when the media repeats something over and over and over again, it drills it into your brain. And it's very unfortunate, but it's just how humans work. When they hear something again and again and again from the news, it just becomes reality. And things that aren't repeated again and again don't. So that's just literally what happened. And it's weird the power that the legacy media still enjoys when YouTubers are much more in vogue, but conversation for another day. Thank you, John, for the $90. $90.52. Halulu says, we don't need a Kraken, we need a Godzilla. I mean, Kraken and Godzilla, that's pretty evenly matched, I reckon. Jaden Thomas says, last stream you mentioned your favorite song you made well. What's your least favorite? Fuck, that's a great question. My least... Jaden's like the only guy who seems to care about my tunes. My least favorite song that I really fucking hate to listen to. Right. I'm gonna bring it up. Let's put some fucking Spotify on, shall we? Let's have a bit of tunes. Right, let me put this on. All right, my least favorite song that I've ever made. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you why. There's just so many. I've got to make my next album sick. I've got to make up for all the songs I made that I hate. Okay, here we go. So, I think it's definitely on my second album. So, I don't know. That's actually quite a difficult question, but if I have to answer, it's probably going to be the first song on my second album, She's a Wolf, because it's actually a really cool song, but the way that it's mixed, the technical processing of it is just fucking awful. So I made the album on speakers that didn't have any bass response. The Yamaha NS10s, the black speakers with the white cones that are ubiquitous in studios all around the world. People have them because they're shit, because if it sounds good on shit speakers, it will sound good on anything. And I thought, okay, I can just make the album on these speakers. But because they don't have any bass, there's all this bass underneath that I didn't even know was there. And so when it came out and it was mastered, I just released it. And the bass is such a mess. The drums and the bass lines all conflict. So She's a Wolf, I hate listening to that. And I want to remix it and master it myself because I learned how to master since then. But I've just got to move on. So it is what it is, man. But the vibe's there. I hope it has some just raw Wu-Tang vibe that still makes it good. Mark Simpson, his comment was censored. Is fat ugly guy still missing in action? See, his comment is censored, just like the fat people censor shit in England as well. What is it with fat people and censoring? Just get it out and get on a treadmill. Mark Simpson, is fat ugly guy still missing in action? I haven't been to that bar since, but I will let you know. I'll probably go there next weekend. I'll let you know. Uncompetitive says, my Mac cost $22,000. I fucking love you. You're my hero, Uncompetitive. I really want a Mac that costs $22,000. Why did you buy a Mac for $22,000? And is it the kind of the fastest model with the most cores? And just tell me a little bit about that. And you know what? I'm actually thinking of buying one now, but my brother, who, as we've just established, is the Mac genius, he told me that you shouldn't buy a Power Mac now because Mac's new proprietary chipset, the M1, is just going into production. And so the next Power Macs will use that. And so the previous Power Macs will be super incompatible with loads of shit. to give you a layman's explanation. So I might have to wait for the new Power Mac. My brother said it could take up to 2 years. He said it might take less. He said that iMacs and iMac Pros will use the new M1 chip, and that will be soon. And he said they're going to be beastly. My bro said the M1 chip blows Intel at the water, smashes it. Is this true? Uncompetitive says, I'm an independent video game developer. What the fuck? Have you told me that before? Can you share with everyone what you're doing and give some links and shit? We need to big you up, dude. Jostled Trout. This guy must be British with a name like that. Said, hey, it's this guy. Hello, British man. See, there's a lot of Britishness just flying around. Bit of back and forth. Bit of Britishness back and forth between myself and Jostled Trout. What are you jostling for? Are you jostling up the stream? Because that's where you spawn, right? Are you jostling to get up the stream and spawn? Mac TX. Does that mean Texas? The new flight simulator will probably use everything you give it. Bakayoko says, have you heard about Bohemian Grove? No. Isn't that something to do with conspiracy theory stuff? And is this in the same world as what is it? Can't think. That fucking eye, the all-seeing eye on the dollar, and those secret societies. Is that what Bohemian Grove is about? What is Bohemian Grove? Should I know? Architractor says facts. James Hart says, I would love to hear how No More Sun was created. Headgears was super interesting and addictive. I actually like Headgears, so that's for you, Jaden, as well. Headgears is fucking sick. I don't care what anyone says. That is sick. How did you come up with the rhythm? Okay, so yeah, No More Sun. At that point, I had loads of money because I created a business with passive income that just ran itself and generated shitloads of money, but it kind of... I'll leave it at that. And at that, so I just poured loads of money into the mastering and all that and the creative process, which is ironic because I totally wasn't happy with it. And it just shows money doesn't mean fuck all. But I made that on these weird Yamaha NS10 speakers. There's an artist I really like who did that. And the guy who did that did the cover. So I paid him like $3,000. He's a hardcore Trump hater. I don't think he knew when he illustrated the album cover, but I'll show you it. So, the guy who did so it's a cool cover. So the guy did this, did that, I can't fucking do this in reverse. Did that. And yeah, I think he just had a few things lying around and he just modified it to my taste. But I added a few things. I did all the colors on this. The original colors were completely different. It was kind of, it wasn't even like this. So I changed all the colors and edited it selectively because I like that color combo. And so that was that. And I was working with this guy called Timothy. And I nicknamed him Timothy too much because he's a music theorist and I'm not good at music theory. So I usually work with a musician, but I do all the beats and bass and I'll just produce and edit and move everything around. And I just tell people what to do. So if I work with a musician, I'll play it. I will make all the beats and I'll play a beat. Maybe it has a basic melody. And then I ask them to play. And then I'll say, no, make it more like this or make it more like that. And then when they're playing, I'll be like, wait, stop, do that again. And then I'll cut it and edit it. So I basically produce the whole thing. And with music theorists, and I worked with this guy. I used to work with him. He was the best musician I've ever worked with, and he basically just ghosted me, and that's one of the hardest losses in my life. And I don't know exactly what it was because he would kind of ghost. He would disappear for like months. This was always part of his habit. He'd disappear for months and then suddenly come back. And other people said it as well. So on his Facebook, people are like, where are you? You've disappeared. So he's a twisted genius. He went to Manhattan School of Music. I've never seen a motherfucker play a piano like this. I say, can you play this? And he's just going with his hand, doing anything you can imagine. He was sick at the drums. He used to finger drum. So we came up with stuff together. And that track, Headgears, I think I mean, I chose and selected the drums and stuff, but I think he played the beat and then I added the percussion and then he actually didn't do anything. I played all the instruments on that and synths, and yeah, that's how that was made. And yeah, that was made at a time when I just had a lot of money, and it just made it garbage. Like, it's all about the struggle. It's all about money just wrecks everything. So there was money when the album was made, and the album was shite, in my opinion. I'm always trying to get the sound in my head, which is really heavy banging on the dance floor, and I can't really get close to it. But with my next album, I'm planning to finally make a good album. Jostle Art Contractor says, it's a naughty word, mate. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, mate. Come on now. John Collar says, keep making videos. Okay, thank you. I certainly will. Well, that's why I'm here, mate. The donations just give me a buzz. It's part of that addictive process, man. I'm addicted. It's like playing fucking Fortnite with your donations. Jostle Trout. I remember seeing you on Mr. Weeble's channel or something. Yeah, probably at some point. Andrew Weisbein says, I've heard a bunch of mispronunciations. It's pronounced Vice, saying nice with a W. Okay, so Weiss, and Bein, saying it like wine, but with a something. The W with a B. With a B. Art Contractor says, it's poisoning so many people. So I'm a bit slow reading the comments. I'm losing my chain of thought. What is poisoning so many people? Uncompetitive says, Trump had a black supermodel girlfriend. No, but he's a racist, right? Trump is a horrible racist guy who wants to hurt all the black. No, he's not racist. I just think Trump is so warm. Whenever I've seen him talking about problems facing the black community and they're in the Oval Office, he seems so warm. You know, he seems so warm and friendly and kind, fatherly. And it makes me sad to see how he's been abused. And that's why I love the guy. Who can take that abuse? People abuse him like he's not human. Like, he doesn't even have emotions. He has people saying he wish he was dead. He's fucking scum. They want to put him in jail on a daily basis. He doesn't give a fuck. That takes a special kind of genius. For someone to be able to wake up and just go about work in a jovial way, and he does, fucking incredible. He's a rare human being. Uncompetitive said, Trump funded the historic black colleges and universities. Yes, that is true. James Hart says, how does Arizona look from the outside right now? I'm currently living there and things are kind of weird here. I don't have a fucking clue, mate, what's going on over there. You tell me. Sorry. Art Contractor, criminal justice reform. Yes. Rumper says, let's stop being boomers. Get a Discord server, Mr. Massacre. Okay. I do have a Discord server, but I'm not a fan of Discord. Okay, so my Discord, fucking hell, someone has set this up for me. Discord is so convoluted, is it not? What is my Discord? Okay, if everyone joins my Discord, I'll fucking use Discord. Oh, okay, no, just crash. This is going to fucking crash the stream, isn't it? Checking for updates. Okay, we'll get back to the Discord. Rumpus, okay. Art Contractor agrees I should use a Discord. Art Contractor, Johnny, let's do a Discord. 3 channels, 1 music, 1 political, 1 pop culture. Can I just make you a moderator and you do this for me? I got my hands full with scratching and music theory. This would be fucking amazing. Art Contractor, NS10 are reference only, mate. Come on, man. Yeah. Yes, they are reference only, you're right. So my speakers fucked up my second album. That's my excuse. Mac TX says, yep, Texas, good. Everyone I meet from Texas seems to be rather cool. Jordan Durham says, you may not like it, but Blade Rundown is a banger. That is a banger, but the drums are kind of weak and stock sound. But it is. It's a pretty good one, that one. Steven Suarez, Bohemian Grove is a very real place that used to be a camp-like atmosphere where elites, including Nixon and Reagan, would go to chill and network. Tell me more. Uncompetitive says, Nixon said that Bohemian Grove was faggy. He was not a fan. Okay. So Nixon not feeling Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove, I imagine some weird desert island with kind of palm trees and shit. Jaden says, there's a channel stealing your content. It's your chance. Name topic. Can't say your channel name because it kept on getting censored. It's not stealing my content. That's my music distributor. It automatically uploads videos every time I distribute something on Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music. Jaden Thomas says, I'm going to set up a new Johnny Massacre subreddit so that you don't have to use shitty Discord. Okay, so we've got pushback to the Discord people. Why not fucking do a bit of everything? Then everybody wins. Okay, so we've got 21 concurrent viewers. Anyone else going to chip in? I've got my Discord open right now. And Discord Massacre. So one is a special patron only, I think. And I don't fucking like how on my Discord, how the fuck do I invite people to my Discord? This is why I don't like it. I always use iChat on the Mac. It's you open it and you start chatting. This has got so much crap in it. Right, well, I'm fucking stumped on that one. Discord has killed my boner, I've got to be honest. Jordan Durham says Discord and Reddit both suck ass. Okay, so fuck everything. Burn it all down. We've got the whole range. Well, should we just stay on YouTube? I mean, YouTube is so... it's just the people who run YouTube. Do you ever get the monthly creator letters on YouTube? It's always the wokest shit I don't give a fuck about. It's so disconcerting having all my creative content on this website that could just be taken away because of wrong think at any time. Right. I want to say thank you for giving me content. I went in a little bit unprepared and you basically saved my ass. So for the next cheeky live stream, part 3, or the live stream where I'm getting ready to go out, could be either or, I'm going to have a little bit more content for you next time. Is there anything you want to ask me before I go and cook this steak before it goes bad? Jaden says, I'm going to set up a new Johnny Massacre subreddit so that you don't have to use shit. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Mark Simpson says, we just need a Discord invite link. Just need the link for Discord. Put it in the chat. Okay, so what the fuck is going on here? So, okay, Johnny Massacre, patron VIP Massacre. So, okay, how the fuck do I do this? Edit channel, invites, create one. Is this what I'm doing? Create an invite? All right. This is invite friends. Is this what it fucking is? I feel like an 80-year-old man trying to fucking work out what the internet is. Is that what it is? Thanks, Lulu. Wait Gamer. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Hang on. Wait Gamer. Didn't you set up my Discord? This would be fucking amazing timing. Didn't you set up my Discord? I swear it was you. If so, he heard a fucking... He saw the bat symbol. The bat signal. Hello, why did you choose the name Massacre? So I was do you know what? My original name, but the first thing I ever chose as a DJ was Space Cadet. Obviously, I consigned that to the memory hole. And then it was Don John the Bastard, but that was a little bit too flowery. It's taken from a Shakespearean novel, but it was good because I used to be such an antagonistic fucker. I used to do really horrible things. And then Johnny Massacre I knew it had to be Johnny something because Johnny something is just so fucking cool. And Massacre just seemed right because as a DJ, I want to massacre the competition. I used to win DJ competitions all the time. And when I used to go out there, it was like a boxer. Before the match, I used to look at the other DJ and just fucking stand there without moving on the dance floor and just watch him for 1 hour. Then I get up there and my sole mission is to fucking destroy them. So, and also, even if it's not competitive, but it's always competitive because I'm showing my skills, I want to fucking hurt the dance floor. I want everyone to pull a screw face and look like they're in pain. That's what I'm all about when I'm DJing. So Johnny Massacre. Uncompetitive says click to the right of your Discord server name in the left sidebar and then click invite people. Okay, so I've got it. I'll stick the link here. Boom. Get your ass in there. Discord. We're fucking doing this. I do have a special Discord, a Patreon VIP, which I don't even use, which is probably why no one subscribes to me on Patreon, but there you go. Oh, Chibi Bagu's in here. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got... Oh, shit, people joining my Discord. Okay, hello. Fuck, we're on Discord. This is awesome. Fuck, I love Discord. Discord's amazing. Why did I neglect you? I'm sorry, Discord. Shit, everyone's jumping in. Sweet. See you on... Oh, Discord's great. Discord's fucking sick, mate. Technology, wow, what is this? What is this newfangled technology? Jesus Christ. Okay, shit. I'm going to have to find some moderators so it can be a free-for-all. You can all fucking attack each other, and the only person left standing can be the moderator. Shit, everyone loves Discord. Okay, this is great. All right, I feel that the stream has kind of diverted. So if you just came in now, we're just talking about my Discord. You're going to be so fucking excited. So you are welcome. Let's continue this on Discord. Wait Gamer says, you're confusing me with someone else. I did not set up your Discord. Thank you for the Massacre explanation. Cheers, mate. Sorry for that. I do apologize. All right, well, that's that. We're going to cut this live stream out. I've gone 17 minutes over the runtime. Thank you for saving my ass, all you beautiful people. I still need you guys to name my ghostwriter. Basically, my mate, we just have political rants on our social media chat. And I often read what he's written. I'll quote him and say, this is what my mate's written. We need to give him a name. People suggested names like the Pantheon. I don't really know what that means. So we need to give a name to my mate. Bernard Trump. That was something that came out in the stream today. What should we call my source, a.k.a. ghostwriter for future Johnny Massacre shows in regards to political content? Please let me know. And Jaden Thomas says, leave a link to the Discord in the comments. Just did, mate. We in, mate. Everyone's in the Discord. So, yes, thank you for watching. I've been Johnny Massacre. And I tell you what, mate, you better be back for the next one. Otherwise, I'll be coming around your house. Make sure to like and subscribe. And, well, hit that fucking notification bell because that is what all those other cunts tell you to do. Laters.